Hello, my name is Mike Patria, the developer of Lopack, and I'll be going through the features of 3.3.7 that has just rolled out. The three features, they're very minor, but so it'll take me just maybe a couple of minutes to go through it. First feature is when you load in a baseline, there will be a visual display. The second one is when you're choosing a DXF color, when you're exporting to a DXF, such as in the number of buckets or the dredge tracks output, you can just click on the color now instead of having to type it in or toggle through them. And the third is an improved color legend for the colors tab. When you're exporting a legend for soundings to an AutoCAD file, there's some improvements with that. So as you can see here, I already have a baseline loaded, but if we wanted to load it in, all we would do is you click this icon here. Oops. And let's say this Delaware baseline. I think should be the same baseline that was just loaded. The start station, I don't remember what it was, but let's just arbitrarily say 1,000. Now you can see here it's entered in all the baseline information, each leg of the baseline, the point of inflection at the start and end of each leg, and the X and Y for each point of inflection, and the distance and azimuth of each leg. Now each leg is now shown here in this update by the light blue and dark blue lines here, which show each leg, individual leg. And the white text here is the points of inflection, and it's shown on a northern eastern grid, which is 1:1 scale, so it's not distorted in any way. Now at this point, if you wanted to swap the line, you could just hit swap. This just brings the start point from this end to this end here, and the reason I did that just to show you that it does update. And this is useful when you're uploading, importing a DXF and you don't know what side the line starts on. That's just a quick way to start the line on this end instead of that end. Okay, now the next feature in 3.3.7 is the DXF colors. I will just load in some data real quick. This is just an XYZ of a survey that happens to be also on the Delaware River. And it's a pretty large survey, so it might take a little bit for it to import. And also, since we have the baseline loaded, you can see now it's converting the X and Y points to station range points. If there was no baseline loaded, it would just skip this step and not have anything in the station range or legs column. So we can see like the first point here is in the leg 2 of the baseline. So we know it's between station 195 and 453, which is this dark blue here, as we can see in our display. And you can see it's station 452, so it actually just made it 453 is the cutoff there for that leg. So if we were to export some data here to a DXF, just so we can show you the new feature. Let's say we want to export this to a polyline. We can do that in custom color. And previously, you have to go in here and type in, or use this toggle. And you could still do that now, but now you can also click on the color that you would like. Let's say we wanted color 77, 77, and whatever color you'd like. Let's go with this light blue 150. And if you wanted to export colors, you can also, circles, you can also do custom and pick whatever color here. You can see that they're different, so you can keep it the same, or if you want each thing to be different. I'm going to actually export this for the next step, so I'll just export these circles, and I have to put a radius in here. Let's say a radius of 3. And we will save it here. Okay. The other place that you can do this custom colors is the number of buckets. So let's say we added in our data the bucket byte 1.75. Just how much linear feet of face the bucket can bite. Let's say grade here is 47. And the target depth, let's say we're targeting, I don't know, 48. You can see another tutorial on how to make number of buckets. So now if we're exporting to a DXF, it defaults to black. But if we wanted to have the number of buckets on the operator screen something other than black, we can go to colors. And previously, you would have to go in here and manually type in all these numbers. So now we could click on the numbers. So first we would have to select which field we would want to change. So if it displays a 1 for the number of buckets you need to take, you select the 1, and that color would be 82, which is green. You could do this, so you can go through a lot quicker now and select all the colors. And if you don't feel like going back and forth, there's also these buttons here. It just basically does the same thing. And you can select as many buckets as you want. Select the color. If you want to select all of them to change the color, this is very useful. If on our dredge now, the operator doesn't want to see black, he wants to see dark green. So now we could change them all to dark green. Yeah, if you want to do all, but maybe the first one be red. I mean, whatever combination you'd like. Now you can do it very quickly now. All right, I'll just cancel out of this. And the last place you could do it is when you're importing in a dredge database. This is for a clamshell dredge. It's this export to the DXF tracks. And you can select any of these colors, but when you go to custom, you also have the same feature here. Alrighty, I will head over to the colors tab to show the last feature. We can open up a color file. And this is just a preset color file. And of course, if you wanted to change any of these levels here, you could change it, or the color, any of the colors. Now, this button here was in previous versions, but it wasn't customizable, and now it is for the title of it. It defaults to Soundings Legend. We'll just keep it at that. And we hit OK. And now it's copied to your clipboard. And you can go into a drawing. So let's open up that drawing that we just made. So the drawing we just made, just that bunch of circles for the 10 by 10 survey. Let's go to paper space here. And now you could paste it in. This is quite a big color file here, but you could shrink it down if need be. This is quite a big color file to begin with anyways, but you can see that's the same color file that we have just made here. And it looks a lot better, and here's the title of the that you selected. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for version 3.3.8.